Hello everyone and welcome to Nara's Tarot. Thank you very much for being here. Today's reading, we're going to channel a message from your future self about your current situation. So we're going to find out what kind of guidance or advice or any kind of truth that they can present to you to help you to better navigate whatever it is that you're going through at this moment in time, okay? So there are 3 piles for you today. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So feel free to pause the video here to connect with the piles and I will see you at your reading. Alright, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we're channeling a message from your future self today. So let's find out what is it about your current situation that your future self can advise you on, okay? And you're starting off with the 3 of Wands. Ooh, okay. Slight explosion of cards. But you have the Hanged Man, or the Hanged One in this case, the 6 of Cups in reverse, as well as the 6 of Swords also in reverse. So 2 sixes in reverse. Underneath the deck for you, we've got Justice in reverse. Okay. I think for pile 1s, you guys might be feeling a little bit worried about whether or not you're going in the right direction. And your future self is here to confirm that everything is fine. And in this state right now where you are in the 3 of Wands, waiting for your ships to return, waiting for some kind of feedback on the messages that you've put out to the universe or the actions that you've put out into the world, right? You may be waiting for some feedback. And at this point in time, it's just pretty uncomfortable in that waiting stage with the Hanged One over here. And it is in this stage that when things feel a little bit too quiet, when we're not really hearing back from people, that we might be doubting ourselves or doubting whether or not the plan that we've set out to do actually works or not. And a lot of those doubts and fears your future self wants to tell you, a lot of that is coming from the past, meaning it's not necessarily an accurate diagnosis of the present challenges you're going through, but it's more so like past fears, past judgments, or past opinions from other people that you've been hearing that are just playing out right now. And basically your future self is saying that the best thing you can do is to ignore those voices. Ignore the internal haters, ignore the internal critic, and keep doing what you're doing, all right? There's some kind of cycle that needs to be closed or needs to be broken, basically, with the Justice card in reverse underneath the deck. This is a cycle of shaming yourself and kind of like prosecuting yourself the moment one little tiny thing goes wrong. You immediately kind of like react in this very, you're almost like so vindicative to yourself and so hard on yourself. And if nobody is punishing you, you will punish yourself for this small little mistakes that you make. And your future self is basically saying that this cycle needs to end and it's not working out for you. It doesn't help you, and it was not the reason why they succeeded. They didn't succeed through shame and blame and trying to punish themselves all the way to the end. They succeeded because they were intentional and patient with themselves, and they kept moving on step by step with the plans that they made, with the plans that you made as well, okay? So let's grab you some oracle cards now to take a look at some other guidance from your future self about this situation. Whoa. Okay. We have guys, I kid you not. Metal sheep, foresight, and careful planning. What were we just talking about? You have it, pile 1. You have it. You have a plan, and your plan works. You really need to trust in this plan because it has been something that you shaped through very careful planning, and you have the foresight to create the thing that you want. Like, you have the foresight to plan out what it is that needs to happen. And you got it. You have to trust yourself that you got it, pile 1. This is so amazing. Okay, let's see what else comes through. All right, we have here the metal snake, embrace great transformation. So your future self also wants you to know that things will change. Like with the hangman over here, it can feel like things are very stagnant, and the hangman is a very uncomfortable position of somebody who isn't necessarily stuck, but they're choosing to put themselves in a reversed hanged position in order to see things differently, in order to look at things from a different perspective. And that's what you're going through. That the hangman is a very transformative process. Even if he might look like he's stuck and he's stagnant, he's actually not, because there's a very intentional, voluntary act of putting oneself in a position of discomfort in order to see a different part of themselves. And I think what you're seeing differently is that this blaming and shaming and this kind of like very tough critic is something that needs to be released. You're seeing that this is something that really doesn't serve you, and in fact it tears you down. So the hangman, I think, is also a time for you to let go of this energy over here, okay? And the last card we have here is the wood pig moving up the vortex. Wow, this is amazing. And I feel this for you because in your reading over here, you might feel like everything is spiraling downwards and it's not moving. But actually, that's what happens when we're in a spiral. You can't really tell if you're going up or down. But the thing is, your future self is saying you're actually moving up. You're actually moving up the vortex. This spiral here is that evolution that we're going through. We go through them in this motion of a cycle where we encounter lessons, we encounter things that we need to transcend from. And the more we go up, the more you might encounter like similar lessons, but this isn't you repeating something. This is maybe something happening to you in a different octave, in a different frequency, in a different form, only for us to just transcend from it. So your future self also wants you to not read too much into the situation, because it's just part and parcel of evolution and personal growth. And you are moving up the vortex, meaning that you're also moving up in terms of your achievement, of your success, in terms of the things that you're manifesting is also coming through to you in a higher frequency, and if you're looking to manifest something more. For instance, if you're setting like a big ambitious goal for yourself, this vortex and this idea of moving up the vortex, your future self is also saying that it's helping you to be able to manifest that big ambitious goal of yours, okay? Underneath the deck, we have would snake enjoy the waiting game? Pile number 1, I cannot with the cards sometimes when they just speak to each other. We were talking about that with the hangman. It's a waiting game right now. It's patience. I mean, even the 3 of Wands is patience, is the waiting game. It's time for us to receive feedback from the universe, from the people around us, and enjoy it. Enjoy that process, okay? It's all part and parcel of everything that you're meant to experience in this journey, all right? I dropped this card here, but let's see what comes through for you in this next deck. We have Unicorn, Betrayal, and Forgiveness. Ooh. And then we have here El Barak, Expect Miracles. Okay, so pile 1, what we need to forgive is any times that we have betrayed ourselves in the past, and also any times other people have betrayed us. And this betrayal may not be as dramatic as the kind of betrayal you see in like TV, right? But it might be like small things. All the times that maybe your parents denied you of your dreams, all the times your teachers said that it wasn't possible, all the times that you were made fun of for the thing that you really wanted to be known for, right? These are all small little ways that add up to this sense of feeling betrayed by the people around you, because they didn't support you and your highest intentions and your highest potential as well. And in addition to that, it's also about forgiving yourself for all the times you may have betrayed your highest good. You might have betrayed your intuition or betrayed your own values in order to try to fit in a box that somebody else thinks you should be in. So the lesson and the message from your future self is to let go of this chapter in your life is about forgiveness. Forgiving yourself and others for all of the times that you might have been betrayed, okay? And then expect miracles. So something major is coming through for you, Pal One. Expect a big transformation and expect something really, really positive, a big major blessing to enter into your life. Something really, really good is coming through. Your future self wants to highlight that for you. Underneath the deck, we have Ex Tenebris Lux. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Probably not, but it says here, from the darkness comes the light. Yeah, this is absolutely true. I think you guys have gone through your own season of darkness and your own season of maybe a shadow work period. And from that, you will receive, you will receive lightness, healing, and you will transcend from that, and you will find yourself at a better place at the end of all of this, okay? So let's get you a final affirmation cards and see what your future self wants you to know. We have, I'm deserving of respect, love, and happiness. I give respect, love, and happiness to, yeah, this is a cycle you're breaking, Pal One. It's from a place of giving, or from a place where you're receiving people who don't have your best intentions at heart, or people who don't really know you, trying to like fit you into some kind of box. You now are breaking that cycle and instead calling in respect, love, and happiness. This is where you will be aligned with who you are on the inside and with the deepest values that you truly care about, okay? The next card is, the door that closes for me is the wrong door. The door that opens for me is the right door. Also a very, very apt card for you, I must say. Underneath the deck, we have, it is easy for me to attract all that I need into my life. I do this by relaxing and trusting that things are going to work out perfectly. So yeah, relax and trust, even in this hangman situation. Just keep relaxing and trusting. Things will flow in the ways that they are needed to go, okay? So Pal One, this is your reading. I hope that it's resonated with you. I hope that it's brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now. All right, Pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with our tarot cards to take a look at some guidance from your future self about your current situation, okay? And we are starting off with the Sun in reverse. All right, straight off the bat, your future self wants to acknowledge the place you're in now, where, especially for my Pal 2s, if you're feeling quite down, if you're feeling like the sun hasn't really been shining on you, you haven't really had good luck, good blessings, you haven't really had, it's almost like you haven't really been chosen by the universe this year or whenever this finds you. And the Sun in reverse also is giving me this feeling of like abandonment and wondering if we've been forgotten by the universe. It's like the sun is shining on everybody else but me. How can that be? Because isn't the sun supposed to be universal? And you're wondering if something has gone wrong. And your future self just wants to start this reading over here. Okay, so let's see what else comes through. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Again, this person here are kind of like begging, or praying in front of the Queen of Cups. I'm also seeing your future self saying like your prayers have turned into like begs. It's like you're pleading the universe, or pleading yourself or someone or something for just some kind of just for your prayers to be answered, just for your prayers to be heard, and it's turned into begs. And it's there's that desperation coming in, which is hard, which is really hard, okay? Let's see what else is coming in. We have Tower in reverse and the Knave of Chalices, which is in this card here, in this deck here, is the Page of Cups. Okay. So let's pause here. Tower in reverse and the Page of Cups, they both bring about, or they both share the element of surprise, right? The Page of Cups, it's not, he brings about some kind of surprising situation. Oh, and hang on. This Page of Cups is a very interesting depiction because I see no cup, first of all. So that's a surprise from him. But also he's holding this thing that almost looks like a wishbone, And it's probably not, it's like a tree branch, but it looks like a wishbone to me at this when I'm looking at this image again now. So I wonder if this is also a positive sign that there's something in the works, in the background, energetically speaking, and your wishes are heard. This reading may be a confirmation for some of you that, hey, your prayers have been heard, Spirit has heard them, and the way that it manifests in your life is going to be unexpected. And that's the element of surprise that the Tower and the Page of Cups brings. The Tower in reverse is actually a really good card to get because Tower upright, clearly, these people have been kind of like bombarded by some kind of destruction that they really weren't expecting, right? But the Tower in reverse here is saying that this kind of catastrophe is most likely not something that's happening to you, and your worst fears basically won't play out. Your worst fears won't play out. So this is Spirit also reassuring you, your higher self and your future self reassuring you that worst fear of yours won't play out. But how it is going to play out is coming through the Page of Cups. It is surprising. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith image, the Page of Cups is holding a cup and there's a fish jumping out of it. So he is able to deal with the element of surprise. He has learned how to hone in on his emotions and to stay calm and steady and deal with these surprising situations. And the thing is, the fish brings good news. The fish is not something that represents terrible things happening, right? The fish actually represents positive news and blessings and prosperity as well. So that is something to look forward to, and your future self just wants you to recognize that something positive is happening. Almost like to keep your attention on the thing that you want, not in a desperate way, not in a way where you feel so pulled in, because it's kind of like now you're so pulled in, your energy is so pulled in that it causes you to lose balance with reality, with everything else that maybe you need to do, with all of your responsibilities. When you're so pulled in this direction of like, I want this, I need this, I have to have this, energetically it's almost like we're out of alignment that way. So your future self just comes in to say, don't worry, it's that worst fear isn't going to happen, and also your prayers are being heard, and how it will come through for you is gonna be out of your imagination. So don't even bother to try, just allow it to happen, is the message over here. Okay, underneath the deck we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Oh wow, this is a very interesting deck. This entire deck is called the 78 Keys or something like that. I'll have the link below if you're interested, because this deck basically, every single card has like a picture of like some kind of key or some kind of opening that someone is looking at. Okay, so for every single card there is like a key or some kind of insight that it brings, and this Page of Swords, it looks like he's spying on someone. And I mean, the pages are students, right? They're learners. So he clearly looks like he is less accomplished than this man in the suit. So he's looking and peering into how this other person is doing their thing, how they were able to get to this level of success or achievement, and kind of like peering there. With this card in reverse, your future self is saying that you are always looking at other people for advice and always looking at other people for how to do something. And that's very sensible, and that's what most people would do, right? Follow what others have done, take their advice, or especially when it comes to, let's say, I want to say like work related stuff, right? There's always all of these like work hacks or skill hacks. Even like manifestation, let's say, there's so many tips and tricks and hacks out there of people who said that this was how they made it happen. And you are looking to learn from those people, yes. But your future self is saying that this feels too much. It's a lot of pressure on you for some reason to keep looking outwards at what other people are doing and feeling like, why is it that I've done what they said that they did and I still didn't get the results? Why is it that it's so unfair in a way? And the continuous cycle of trying to almost like, and I mean, I'm using this word, but it's not really what you're doing, but copying, right? Copying what somebody else is doing, it just feels like a drag. And it almost feels like you're losing yourself by quote unquote copying somebody else, because I think some of you are wondering if this is even for you. Like, is this even right? Like, is this actually what I'm meant to do? Like, do I just blindly follow what these people are doing, or is this really a path and a method for me? So at this juncture, your future self is just saying, you know what, it's too much. You're dealing with so much. You're putting yourself under so much stress and pressure. It has come to a point where it's no longer worth it to go all of these lengths and for what? It's okay to pause and rest and just let it go for now. I don't know what's going to happen after this, and maybe you'll pick it up again, maybe you won't. But that's besides the point. The point now is that this Sun card and this Queen of Cups energy is so intense, and the dissatisfaction is so great that we can't just keep trying to cover it up with positive things, with positive thinking, with positive affirmations. It's really hard to cover this big hole up. So part of the message here from your future self is to pause and just heal and stop trying to do more things. Just let it rest and take a breather, okay? Let's see what guidance your future self wants to bring to you. We have here a fire horse, effortless vitality, as well as earth dog, reconnect with ancestral love. Okay, so if you work with your ancestors, now's a really good time to reconnect with them. At the time of me filming this reading, we are quite close to the Hungry Ghost Festival in Chinese culture, which is the time when the quote-unquote hell gates open, and it's a time where a lot of us would pay respects to our ancestors, to help ancestors who haven't crossed over into the light, to help them to cross over into the light. So traditionally, there are a lot of cultures and rituals that people do to connect with their ancestors and honor them as well. So I feel like this is a really good sign of timing lining up. Connect with your ancestors. There are some of them who have really, really strong wisdom to be able to offer you. And being of service to your ancestral line. I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to make this guy centered. Okay, let's stop playing with that. But yeah, connecting with your ancestral line may also give you some spiritual guidance and spiritual support that could be very much needed, because our ancestors can be a lot more closer to us compared to like a spirit guide or like an angel, right? So you might want to work with an energy that's closer to you to help you to feel more supported, because Sun and the Queen of Cups in reverse is you guys feeling so distant from spiritual support and spiritual guidance, okay? And Fire Horse is amazing because, and by the way, I am filming this in the year of the Fire Horse. So again, there's something about timing here. It's almost like this is divine timing. And divine timing works in ways that we can't explain. When divine timing is good, everything feels amazing. But when divine timing is bringing us something that we don't want, everything feels like it's crap, right? And we're wondering, why do I have to deal with this? But it's part of that experience, So Earth Dog and Fire Horse especially is the fact that divine timing is at work. This is the season of your life that you are in many ways meant to go through, and it will build you and you will transcend from it, and it will bring you to where you need to be in life. It will bring you to where your soul needs to be. So there's also many things that are happening on a deeper level. But Fire Horse wants to remind you that you don't have to try so hard. You don't have to try to beat the challenge. You don't have to try to become, the winner at the end of all of this. It's okay to just go with the flow. It's okay to not know what's going to happen, because there's something about this effortlessness that is intuitive, that will bring you to where you need to be without you having to overthink how you get there. You know what I mean? Underneath the deck, we have Metal Sheep, Foresight and Careful Planning. So very interesting, because you were just talking about how like intuitively effortless vitality is you guys just going into that direction and not really having to think too much about it. But with this Metal Sheep card underneath the deck, the thing that I'm hearing is that your future self is saying that you can make your plans, you can schedule things, put things in motion, but leave room for the unexpected. Leave room for spirit to surprise you. Leave room for for mistakes to happen. And don't sweat it, don't stress it if that is the case. Because that will help you to feel less anxious and less burdened and less worried about the entire situation. All right? Let's take a look at the next oracle deck for the Pal 2s. Okay, we have Gatekeeper, Portal of Change. We have Carousel, Changing Perspectives. This is Chiron's way, finding wisdom in the wound. Yeah. And Red Bear, patience is a virtue. Okay. So I think some of you feel definitely that you are at the cusp of a gatekeeper. There's something that's just preventing you from crossing over, and I really don't know what that is. This is something that you and your higher self, you and spirit knows, right? It feels like a very fated thing that you need to go through. This kind of lesson, this kind of moment here where you're pausing and reflecting and understanding something on a deeper level. Why something isn't working is also showing you what the lesson is when it's not working out. And at this point, there might be just like this barrier of entry where we have to either overcome a lesson or transcend something, and it will all make sense at the end of it. Okay, so the guidance that your future self can let you is coming in is to call for you to change your perspectives, look at things differently, see this not as a roadblock, but as a necessary part to your journey. See this as a necessary part to your evolution as a person and as a soul, and be very patient with yourself. Sometimes when we give ourselves a lot of time pressure, when we give the universe time pressure as well, that like, oh, something must happen by this time, or I need to make this happen by this date, it adds just too much stress, right? So maybe patience is also about letting go of timing and letting go of this time pressure, and allow yourself to take as much time as you need and find the wisdom in all of this. All right. Underneath the deck, we have Equus Kavanagh, unearthing the creative impulse. Okay, so if there's something that you really want to do, if there's some kind of creative impulse, if there's some kind of idea that you've been ruminating about, it's time to act on it. Okay, so let's grab you your final affirmation cards to see what your future self wants to leave you with for this reading. Okay. All right, we have here quite a few cards. I am thankful for many things, and my gratitude attracts abundance into my life. The second card is, when I don't know what is happening, I choose to be curious and excited about what is going to be. And then we have, I am valuable. Many people are thankful for my presence in their lives. All right. And underneath the deck, we've got, my patience is being rewarded. My turn will come. Patience is coming up a second time. So I think there's something there that this wait, it will be worthwhile. Okay, so pile number 2, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well. Okay, bye now. All right, pile 3, welcome to your reading about your future self's message to you. That card really came out straight away, crazy, but it's the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Very interesting artwork here. I'm not exactly sure what all of this is. This is a Japanese inspired, clearly. But yeah, it's the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And let's see what else comes through from your future self, okay? Alrighty, we have the Queen of Pentacles also in reverse. And Judgment in reverse as well. Okay, and underneath the deck, we've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so you've got a lot of pentacle energy. So your future self is most likely coming through in this reading with a message about some kind of earth element related thing, and most of the time that is your career, your finances, your material stuff, something more related to the 3D experience of life, closer to like just everyday life and stuff like that. Okay, so you might have a question or a concern around that, and your future self is coming in with some guidance. Now, with the Knight and the Queen of Pentacles both in reverse, I'm hearing that there's some kind of exchange of energy that isn't, the equation isn't working. Because the Knight of Pentacles, he journeys out to deliver this pentacle. He brings this pentacle to wherever it needs to be, right? And him in reverse is kind of saying that this journey is, there's something off about this journey. This Knight is going off track. Or he's lost his way, or he just didn't deliver and we don't know why. And then the Queen of Pentacles also, she is somebody who nurtures her garden. She plants her seeds and she creates abundance by taking really good care of the realm that she has acquired, right? And with her in reverse, it's also like, I'm also hearing like the Queen is missing and nobody is tending to the garden. Nobody's looking after this place. And so there can't be harvest from when we don't have the gardener, when we don't have the queen in the house, we can't really quite harvest a good abundance for ourselves. And even with the Knight of Pentacles, this is also again that feeling of like the support or the help that I needed, that I was waiting for this Knight to come in to give me this pentacle, to give me this, maybe it's a contract, maybe it's some kind of work, or maybe it's some kind of financial support that was coming in. It didn't. Okay, so, oh yeah, with the Six of Pentacles. Because the Six of Pentacles in a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith image, it shows like a scale and somebody kind of like rationing out the resources that they have. And so there's an idea of equality and doing and generosity as well with the Six of Pentacles. And over here, it feels like something is just weirdly off about that equation. It's either you're giving too much, you're spending too much, and you're not really able to get enough to support that spending. Or maybe you feel like you're giving a lot of energy into something and you're just not getting enough in return. Okay, so Judgment over here is calling, your future self is calling for you to recognize this situation here and to be very honest with yourself. I feel like many of you are in denial that something isn't working. And that's why this Judgment is also in reverse, because Judgment also stands for awakening and rising up to a higher truth. And in reverse, it's also kind of like denying that something is, that there is some kind of higher truth happening. You know, we're in denial of it. And what seems to be the case I'm hearing is we're afraid of what's better for us. We're afraid of a better life for us. And I don't really know why that's the case, but you're afraid that that's possible. Why would that be the case? I kind of understand that fear, but I can't really quite put it into words in a way that is more understandable. But it's almost like you're so afraid of good things happening because, and then fill in the blank, right? And that's for that could be so personal to many of us. Some people are afraid of good things happening because they've seen that when good things happen to people, it gets destroyed. You know, you've seen your parents maybe come into money and how it destroyed their relationship, and so you might have a fear of attaining that level of abundance because you're afraid of relationships breaking down. You've seen people get really successful at business, for instance, but wreck their health. And on some kind of subconscious level, we're denying ourselves of the higher truth and a better life for ourselves because we're afraid of the consequences. And your future self wants you to be really aware of this, because when you're not in the house taking care of your garden, there is a bigger consequence already taking place here, which is something being out of alignment. You know, your health, your wellness, your potential, even your ability to take care of yourself. A lot of these things can't happen if the Queen of Pentacles isn't at home to take care of herself, or in other words, you are not at home to take care of yourself as well. Okay, so come back to your body is one message here. And one way you can come back to your body is by doing body things, exercising, taking long walks, just being more present with your physical body. And from there, by being in touch with your physical body, I think it helps you to become more, I want to say more in balance with yourself, and be able to accept this reality that, hey, I've got something really good going on, and I have the opportunity to make something really good with judgment over here, and I'm not gonna be the one to stop myself from attaining that higher potential for me. All right, so let's have a look at your oracle cards now to see what else your higher self wants you to know, okay? We have, first of all, number 25, Earth Red, change your mindset. Okay, so yeah, change this mindset that if you do this, that something really bad is going to happen. That if good things come in, you're going to be met with a catastrophe. Change that mindset, because that was something that happened for someone else. It doesn't mean it's going to happen for you. It's not some kind of universal law. It's not. Okay, your higher self and your future self really wants you to know that. All right. Woo! Okay, we have Fire Monkey, number 33, time to embrace change. So there's a lot of change happening, and this change is so much needed, I feel, because it feels like with the Knight and Queen of Pentacles in reverse, things have been stuck for a long time, and it's long enough for you, I think, to realize that it's not working out. Like, you denying this truth is also not a good place to be. So it's time to embrace change and allow yourself to see that there's a different and better alternative for you, okay? And we have Wood Sheep, nature is your healer. Okay, so if you need some time to heal, like we were talking about, like being more present with your body, nature is also a great place to do that, right? Because nature is earth element, and it helps us to feel more connected to that physical part of ourselves, okay? Underneath the deck, we have Earth Snake, gratitude leads to abundance. All right. One hint your future self is giving to you is that the reason why a lot of people in your life, like things broke down in their lives when good things happened to them, is because they forgot to be grateful. They forgot how they got there, and they forgot how to stay humble and stay grateful for the positive blessings that came in, and that arrogance took over, and that's why things broke down. So the way that you know, or the way that you can keep yourself in balance and in integrity and in alignment with yourself, is to continually hold gratitude for everything that you have. This gratitude will help you to keep your abundance. It will help you to keep the blessings in. And you won't lose it the way that others may have. Okay, so that's one hint your future self is already bringing to you. One way that you can change your mindset. We have changing perspectives carousel again. Your future self is like hammering this in. It's like change your mindset, change perspectives, change everything. Is like change. Like, come on, let's go. Your future self is like ready to go, ramping up. All right. We have Brumbies laying down new tracks. Yep, for sure. You're definitely laying down a new path that is meant for you. You're not walking in somebody else's footsteps. I think some of you are so afraid that you're gonna walk down somebody else's tragic path. It's different. It's different for you. You're laying down new tracks for yourself, okay? And Wind Horses, Invisible Forces is also here. Underneath the deck, we have Kelpie, Initiation and Remembering. All right. So I feel also with Invisible Forces and this card underneath the deck that you're being very supported on a spiritual level as well. And it may not be very clear to you right now, but there are invisible forces helping you to initiate this new path, helping you to remember your potential and remember who you are, and remember that you will have your own way of being able to overcome whatever it is that comes your way. You're not going to follow in somebody else's footsteps. All right, pile number 3. It's going to be different for you, all right? And let's see what final affirmations your future self wants to leave you with. And it says here, even when things aren't perfect or don't seem to be working out, I choose to trust in life. All right, and underneath the deck, we have, I am deserving of respect, love, and happiness. I give respect, love, and happiness too. All right, so pile number 3, this has been your reading. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you guys in future as well, okay? Bye now.